These are the last three problems on the study guide for Algebra A, Test 1 of Quarter 3. So this is problem number 7 on the test, and what's different about it is that we have now a prime number as that first number in the trinomial, and so we typically call this our A term, and so typically it's A and then y squared plus by plus c. And so now we've got a prime number here, so it makes the problem a little bit tougher. Well, we do have a plus sign here, which doesn't make it too bad. So you might have a plus sign, you might have a negative sign. But if it's a plus, that tells us that we're dealing with the same sign. So I know that the outside and inside terms need to add together to equal a negative 11y. So what that tells me is that both signs need to be negative. Well, what we can do to start with is draw our two parentheses and start with 2y and y, for they are the only numbers that multiply to make 2y squared. And we also know both sides need to be negative so that they multiply to make a positive and add to make negative 11y. So what we're looking at is, as we pick our last terms, we're checking the outside terms and the inside terms. So this problem will require a little bit more thought. And so as we do this, we're just trying some numbers to start with. And so a lot of people want to try, like, well, let's say we try 2 times by 7. Those numbers multiply to make 14. So I'll put the 2 here, the 7 here. But when I do that, see, I end up with a 2y, and over here I get this 14y. And these only subtract to make 12, not 11. So I don't have the numbers situated right. Oh, you know what? We're supposed to be adding, not subtracting here. So I end up getting 16 when I end up adding those numbers. And so that's not quite the right number. I need 11. So I know it's not 2 and 7 in that form. Well, let's try those same numbers, but let's try reversing the order. So let's go ahead and take out the 2 and the 7 and fix them by switching those numbers. And let's see what we end up coming up with this time. So we go ahead and put the 7 in this location, the 2 over here. See, when I do this, I end up with a 7y. And over here, I end up with 4y. And we are adding again because they're the same sign. And I end up with 11y. And that's what I wanted. So I ended up getting it on the second try. So these problems, it might take you more than one try to end up coming up with that right answer. So 2y minus 7 and y minus 2. The trick is that always to check your answer. You got to check your answer in order to see if it's right. And in this case, we ended up getting the first one wrong, so we tried another one and we got it right. Let's take a look at this next one here. Solve the system. So we've got a couple of different methods that are really good to use when we're solving systems, and which one of them is the elimination method, when x's and y's and constants and equal signs are on line. Well, this one is better for the substitution method because you see how y equals this expression. So let's take this expression and put it in for y right there. And let's see what we get. And so we go ahead and rewrite our equation. Here we get 2x. I just brought that down. But in place of this y, I'm going to write the expression y is x plus 3. That's what it says right here. That's what we went ahead and used in place of y. And this all equals 6. And so we go ahead and do some work there. And we'll go ahead and combine these two terms. 2x and x make 3x. And then I bring down that plus 3, and this all equals 6. Well, I can go ahead and do some more work there. I can subtract this 3. And when I do that, I end up now with this 3x equaling 3. Well, I've got just one more step, and that's just to divide by 3, and we get the value of x. So x is 1. Well, we're not done yet. We want to find the ordered pair at which these two lines will cross. So now I need to substitute again. I need to take this 1 and I put that in place of this x up top. And so now I have y equals, and in place of x I'm writing 1 plus 3. Well, 1 and 3 make 4. So there's my value of y. So the point at which these two lines cross is 1, 4. There it is. Well, here's a problem in which I'll need to set up an equation. Actually, I can set up a system of equations to do this. Where it says one internet provider charges a $50 setup fee and, so and means plus, so we're going to add on $30 per month. Well, another has no setup fee and, which means plus, charges $40 per month. In how many months? Okay, here's the question. They want to know the number of months, and we don't know the number of months. That's what they're asking for. Will the two providers charge the same? Well, here we know that $30 for every month. So that means months is our variable. That's what we're trying to solve for. So what we have is like the first internet provider, we'll call it number 1, charges, so C, their charge is a $50 setup fee, so we have $50, plus, then we have $30 each month. So every month, we don't know the number of months, but we're going to end up being charged $30 plus a setup fee. No need to write a variable next to the $50 because it's just a one-time fee. Let's look at company number 2. Their charge is, well, there's no setup fee. No setup fee means 0. And so we'll have 0 plus, and then their monthly charge, $40 every month. And so what we're going to do is use that substitution method again, because we're trying to figure out when they will charge the same. We want the C's to be exactly the same. So we're going to take this expression, 50 plus 30m, and we're going to set this equal to 40m. And then we're going to solve. And so we just do some opposite operations. Subtract that 30m from both sides. And that leaves us with a 10m. And 10m equals 50. Well, we're not done yet because we still need to get m by itself. And so the way we're going to do that is we're going to do just another opposite operation. We're going to divide by 10. And so when we do that, we're left with 5. So 5 months it's going to end up taking. That's when they'll charge the same. But that just answers one of the questions. That answers this one, when they'll charge the same. The next is, what will that cost be? Well, it doesn't matter which 5 or which m we put our 5 into. They're both going to give us the same amount. This one right here gives it to us faster because there's only one operation to do. So let's use that one. C equals, and then we have just 40m. 0 won't affect it, so we're just putting a 5 in place of that m. Multiply the two numbers, 5 and 4 make 20. Bring that 0 down, there it is, $200. That's how much they'll charge. We get the same answer if we use the other equation. Well, those are the problems you'll see on the test. Again, there's more problems on the back side to practice. Good luck.